a $10 million mansion, an angry property manager, and police sirens in the distance. Jack Doherty's latest stunt wasn't just another prank gone wrong, it was the moment his entire empire started crumbling. What happened next would leave his fans shocked, his career in jeopardy, and Jack facing potential jail time. But before we get into how everything fell apart, you need to see the exact moment Jack realized he'd lost control of the situation. This wasn't just another YouTube prank. This was the moment a $10 million mansion became the battleground between Jack Doherty and the property manager who was about to destroy his entire career. But how did we get here? The story actually begins hours earlier, when Jack made a decision that would set everything in motion. Just hours before this confrontation, Jack was living his best life. He'd rented one of the most expensive mansions in the area. We're talking 3 floors, ocean views, and a 4th-story balcony that would make any content creator jealous.
All right, guys, let me give you a house tour of this beautiful crib. This house is so far one of the coolest cribs I've ever been to, but the only thing is it literally has no parking. And if you park on the street, like the neighbors call the cops, it's insane. This has gotta be like the coolest looking crib ever. I freaking love it. It's honestly kind of hella cool, like staying here, like just me and McKinley overnight in a mansion like this, bro. It's on the water and stuff too. It's so freaking cool. I don't know, this is like the most fire freaking crib ever. I love it so much.
But there was one tiny detail in the rental agreement that Jack completely overlooked, and it would come back to haunt him. The mansion itself was everything Jack could have dreamed of, but there was one major problem. Parking. With only enough space for 2 cars in the driveway, Jack's entire content crew was about to learn the hard way that the neighbors in this luxury community don't play around. What Jack didn't realize was that the property manager had already been watching his every move. While he was busy creating content and living it up in the mansion, she was building a case against him. And it wasn't just about the parking anymore. She had spotted something that would give her all the ammunition she needed. Remember that stalker that had been causing problems at Jack's other properties? Well, he showed up here too. But instead of this incident helping Jack's case, it actually made everything worse. The property manager saw this as proof that Jack was bringing the wrong kind of attention to the neighborhood. But here's where things get really interesting. While Jack was dealing with the stalker situation, his content crew made a crucial mistake. They parked a car in the exact same spot that would later trigger this whole meltdown. And guess who else parked in that same spot? The property manager herself. This double standard would become the spark that ignited Jack's anger. But what he didn't know was that the property manager had already made up her mind about his fate long before this parking incident. She was just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And that moment was about to come. Because while Jack thought he was just dealing with a strict property manager, he was actually about to face someone who had the power to not just kick him out of the mansion, but potentially end his entire career. What happened next would shock even his most loyal fans.
I'm telling you, I don't want to be recorded.
But it's like we're in the house that I paid for. I'm paying for 2 houses from you guys at the same time. It's only fair, like, that I get to run my business, which is what pays for the houses.
Lights are on, but no one's home.
Uh-oh. Gabe, then you go inside because she got vertical. Like, you're good.
Oh.
He actually like turned out outside. But listen, guys, awesome person. I don't even want to, I'm being your guy.
When the property manager finally confronted Jack, she wasn't alone. She had backup and a plan. But what she didn't count on was Jack's stubbornness about getting his money back. It was about to become a $10 million game of chicken, and neither side was backing down.
What do you want us to do? Like, is there?
Well, she wants us to leave. That's
you never gave us a time frame. You never gave my money back. You said you gave my money back. I never got it back.
It's not with me.
So who's gonna give my money back?
You need to talk to Larry.
I try. He doesn't answer the phone. So, but I don't even need to talk to him. That's the thing. It's like they could just send my money back.
Oh.
But he's the one. Didn't you say that he's the one that told me I can get a full refund?
Okay, so talk to Larry.
But I shouldn't even need to talk to him again. It's just like just send me the money. That's just how it's done.
You're just delaying everything because
Just
I'm not
but
going.
you guys like
you
to
guys
go back
are
and
leaving.
forth with me nonstop. It's just a lot of talking. It's just like,
Okay,
if you guys
so-
send me the money back, I'm out. Like that's it. You said you're gonna give me full refund, right? I'm
Okay.
waiting for it, and then I'm out. Like it's really not that hard.
So leave and then you deal with Larry. And
No,
I don't-
get your
that's
money
not-
back first. What?
But-
That's like so unfair.
Yeah, but
What? No.
Notice how the property manager immediately starts filming? This wasn't just about enforcing rules anymore. This was about building evidence. But Jack, still thinking he could talk his way out of the situation, made his first major mistake. He kept his camera rolling too. Here's where things get really interesting. While Jack kept insisting on getting his refund before leaving, the property manager was already texting someone. We'd later find out she was in direct contact with law enforcement, but instead of telling Jack this, she let him continue arguing, essentially giving him enough rope to hang himself. Remember, Jack was paying $80,000 a month to this company for multiple properties. That's nearly $1 million a year. Most property managers would try to keep a client like that happy, but this wasn't about money anymore. This was personal. The tension in that garage was building by the second. Jack's content crew, usually quick with jokes and pranks, had fallen completely silent. They could sense something was different this time. This wasn't like their usual confrontations where they could just edit out the awkward parts later. This was real, and it was about to get much worse. But here's the detail that changes everything. While Jack was focused on arguing about his refund, he missed the crucial signs that this confrontation was about to shift from a civil dispute to a criminal matter. The property manager wasn't just trying to kick them out, she was building a case for trespassing charges, and in California, that could mean serious legal consequences. Just when things couldn't get any more intense, the sound everyone had been dreading finally cut through the tension.
Yeah, but then we get kicked out for parking in the spot she's already parked in. What do we say or do?
Calm the big boy.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess you violate policies here. They want you to have you out of the property. Alright, so can you prove get everything you need?
Yeah, I just asked them if they could give me they promised me my money back, so it's maybe there's some way they can guarantee I get my money back or something, and then
I'm sure
I'll
there's
leave.
something in the contract that you're gonna.
She's like, oh, leave and we'll deal with it after that. Just it's a very expensive house, you know what I mean?
I understand. So is there something in contract about
They
this?
told him already in a text message that he was going to get his money back.
Okay. So do you have that text message so you can?
I don't.
Police sirens in the distance, but what happened next would make those sirens seem like the least of Jack's problems. The arrival of the police could have been the end of this story. Instead, it was about to become the moment that would change everything about Jack's career. Because what these officers didn't know was that they were walking into more than just a property dispute. They were about to become part of one of the most viral confrontations in streamer history. Watch closely how the officers handle this situation. Instead of immediately taking sides, they try to understand both perspectives.
If you don't feel comfortable about his word, it's right there, proof. So you go to court, it says right there that they're gonna work. It's not like he's
he didn't directly say it at all. He said we'll work out money on Monday. That's it. But if they can give me written proof, I'll leave right now. Otherwise, let me get my money's worth. That's it. Fair game.
Is there anything
Just send me a text. Yeah.
Jack, how much time do you need to pack up your stuff, man?
What's the most time we can get?
When quicker, we're not gonna be here all night.
No, I don't want you guys to be here the whole time. You have to.
No.
Yeah,
You have to be here the whole time you're here.
Oh, really?
So we need you to pack up as quickly as possible. We have other costs to handle in the city.
Can you please hurry up?
How much time?
30 minutes.
But Jack, still streaming to thousands of viewers, makes his second crucial mistake. He starts arguing about his rights while being recorded. This is exactly what the property manager had been waiting for. Here's what makes this situation so different from Jack's previous confrontations. For the first time, he's dealing with someone who understands the content game just as well as he does. The property manager knew exactly what she was doing when she let Jack keep streaming. Every minute he stayed live was another minute of evidence she could use against him. Think about it. This isn't the first time Jack has faced authority figures on stream. We've seen him deal with security guards, angry store owners, and even other property managers. But in those situations, Jack always had the upper hand because he controlled the narrative. This time, he was playing right into someone else's script, but it gets even more interesting. Remember that text message exchange about getting a refund? Turns out there was never any guarantee of getting his money back. The property manager had played her cards perfectly, using Jack's own impatience against him. She knew exactly what she was doing when she mentioned Larry, the mysterious figure who supposedly had the power to authorize Jack's refund. The police, now fully aware of the situation, give Jack an ultimatum: 30 minutes to pack up and leave, or face arrest.
Jack, our boss said yes about prosecution. So we're letting you know that you're no longer wanted on the property and you're being trespassed with. If you refuse to leave the property, you can be arrested for trespassing.
It's crazy.
You understand?
Yeah, I just want my money back, bro. See, that's what I told you.
That becomes a civil issue between you and Larry
whatever.
and you and the company.
I don't care.
So you got
All right, pal. All right.
20 minutes
Yeah, pal.
to pack up and
Yeah,
be off
name
the
him.
property.
All right.
This is where things take an unexpected turn, because while most people would start packing immediately, Jack decides to make one last stand, a decision that would come back to haunt him in ways he never expected. But here's the detail that most viewers missed. Throughout this entire confrontation, Jack's girlfriend McKinley had been trying to de-escalate the situation. She knew better than anyone how these kinds of confrontations usually end for Jack. After all, she'd been there during the mall incident, the frat party chaos, and countless other situations where Jack's stubbornness had only made things worse. And if you look closely at the footage, you can see her repeatedly trying to get him to just walk away. The fear in her eyes tells a story that Jack's bravado can't hide. This situation was different, and everyone except Jack seemed to realize it. The next few minutes would become some of the most tense moments ever captured on a streamer's channel, with the police watching, the property manager recording, and thousands of live viewers holding their breath. Jack was about to make a decision that would send shockwaves through the entire streaming community. But what happened next wasn't just about losing access to a $10 million mansion. It was about to become the moment that would force Jack to confront the consequences of his actions in a way he never had before. As the 30-minute countdown ticked away, Jack was about to learn a harsh lesson about the difference between content and consequences. Because while his previous confrontations had always ended with a viral clip, this one was about to end with something much more serious. The property manager, still recording everything, had positioned herself perfectly. She wasn't just documenting Jack's exit, she was gathering evidence. Every complaint about the refund, every moment of hesitation, every attempt to argue back, it was all becoming part of a larger case against him. And remember that $80,000 monthly payment Jack kept bringing up? That was about to become Exhibit A, and why the situation was even more complicated than it appeared. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. While everyone was focused on the drama unfolding in the mansion, something even bigger was happening behind the scenes. The property management company wasn't just planning to kick Jack out of this house, they were about to terminate all of his rental agreements. That's right, every luxury property Jack had been using for content was suddenly at risk. Think about what this meant for Jack's content empire. No more mansion tours, no more luxury property pranks, no more high-end locations for his videos. In a single afternoon, the foundation of his content strategy was crumbling, and the timing couldn't have been worse, because Jack had just announced major plans for upcoming projects, all centered around these luxury properties. As the final minutes of the ultimatum approached, the tension in the mansion reached a breaking point. Jack's content crew, usually the first to jump in with jokes and commentary, had fallen completely silent. They could sense that this wasn't just another video. This was the moment everything could fall apart. But the real shock came when Jack finally made his decision. After all the arguing, all the back and forth about refunds and rights, he did something that left even his most loyal fans questioning everything. Because in those final moments, Jack revealed a side of himself that no amount of editing could hide. In those final moments, Jack did something completely out of character. He apologized, not to his viewers, not to his crew, but to the property manager herself. It was a moment of vulnerability that no one saw coming. But this apology wasn't going to save him. Within hours of leaving the mansion, the real consequences started rolling in. First came the official termination notices for all his rental properties. Then came the social media backlash, as clips of the confrontation spread across every platform. But the worst was yet to come. Remember Larry, the mysterious figure who was supposed to handle Jack's refund? Well, he finally surfaced, but not in the way Jack had hoped. Instead of offering a refund, Larry delivered a bombshell. The company was considering legal action for breach of contract. Suddenly, Jack wasn't just facing the loss of his content locations, he was potentially facing serious legal consequences. The impact on Jack's content empire was immediate and severe. Without access to luxury properties, he was forced to completely reimagine his content strategy. His views dropped, his engagement suffered, even his most loyal fans started questioning his decisions. But perhaps most telling was the reaction from other content creators. Big names in the streaming world like Kai Cenat and Auden Ross publicly distanced themselves from Jack. The message was clear. His actions hadn't just cost him his locations, they'd cost him valuable connections in the industry. And for a content creator whose success relied heavily on collaborations, this was potentially the biggest blow of all. Today, this incident serves serves as a watershed moment in streaming history. It's a reminder that even in the world of content creation, where everything can seem like just another video opportunity, real consequences exist. For Jack Doherty, the $10 million mansion wasn't just another luxury backdrop. It became the setting for the biggest reality check of his career. If you thought this confrontation was intense, wait until you see what happened when another famous streamer lost everything over a single video. Click here to watch that story unfold.
It's nothing crazy, but send the text. I don't care. And that guy, I don't know what's up with him. You're mad, bro.